Welcome everyone. Market Blitz. We'll run it through. We'll cover pretty much all the pairs, right? We'll go over pretty much all of them. We'll put weekly pivots on, and we'll cover the lower time frame weekly structures. See what we're looking for to finish out the week here. Um, and we'll get into it. Risk disclaimer. Read it over. And if you didn't check out the Parabolic SAR trading strategy video I put out yesterday, you can go check it out. This will help you give a better understanding of what I'm looking at, how we're trading. There will be more parts to this coming out, but in this video, it basically just shows you how to use the Parabolic SAR to count Elliott wave swings. Find your impulsive swings. Take 34 Bs, take 200 Bs, 200 double bottoms off the 200, failed double bottoms, stuff like that. So there will be more episodes to this Parabolic SAR trading strategy video. So let's get started, and we'll start off here on ZAR, right? USD ZAR, we're looking for this C wave up. We're on a weekly chart. Last week we got to close above the 8, off the 89, and we're looking for an impulse up. This thing could go now. When we drop down to the lower time frame, the daily chart, this is the wave we're looking for. Now, if we measure this right here, if we measure the top of our A wave, top of the B wave, you have not tagged 100 yet. So, we're looking for a big flat correction right here. You're making a correction. We're looking for a big flat, and this B wave would have potential to go break this high over here. So the question is, are we going to get one more down right here to the 100 of this wave, right? Here's your A, here's your B, and then here's your C, right? And then we take off to the upside for that right there. All right, so, or you could be ready to go right now, right? Because we have a weekly close above the 8, and this is just a pullback. So that is what we're looking for on dollars are. I'll put the 100 back on so you can see it. All right, and so when we drop down to the 4-hour chart, right, and what I showed you yesterday, we have 1, we have 2, we have 3. So is this a 3-wave corrective structure for an impulse down to the 100, right? And you're going to find that out right here because you got pivot support and you got previous structure right here. So worst case scenario on the 4-hour chart, we probably spend the rest of the week correcting. And then if we got a 4-hour candle like this, then we would be going down to the 100, right? And we would be looking for buy setups at this 100 down here. We step out to the daily chart, it would just look something like this. And either way, we're still looking for a move up to break these highs. All right, so how do you play it, right? There's a number of ways you could play it. You could drop down to the 4-hour chart, and you can basically buy this right here, right? Stop below the lower this structure, and you pull the trigger right here. And this is your trade, right? If you don't feel like messing with it, you can wait for a 4-hour close above the 8, because what do we have on the 4-hour chart? We have 1, we have 2, we have 3. This could be a 3-wave correction to the downside. The next bullish engulfing close on the 4-hour chart could be impulsive. You could buy this, you could buy a 4-hour close above the 8. Step out to the daily chart. If you don't feel like messing with it, you could stick the trade on right now with a stop below that swing low, and it still gives you plenty of RR. So we dive up here to the lower here. You're still looking for a move up here to come take out these highs. All right, so if you put that 4-hour trade on, you're still looking for this. All right, you're looking for this, and that would be your RR if you took this 4-hour trade right now. All right, so now if you get stopped out, and we drop down to the 100, then if you get stopped out, we're probably going all the way down to the 100, which is fine, okay? You take a loss right here. You take a loss right here, and we have a new entry right here. And now all this is your reward, all right? So you're getting an 8-1, right? Probably something like an 8-1 right here. If you get stopped out on this first trade right here, all right? So there's your first entry. If you get stopped out, we're going to have another entry down here at this 100. So that's how you could play it. Or you could play the waves like I showed you yesterday. We got 1, 2, 3 up right now, right? So, and now we have 1, 2, 3 down. This next 4-hour candle could be impulsive. So if you wanted to take a shot on that, and you don't want to see it close below here, all right? Simple as that. So that is what we got on dollar ZAR. And we like Eurozar and all them, but we do have rate decisions on Eurozar, so I can understand if you wanted to not mess around with that this week, right? So that's what we're looking for in dollar ZAR. We'll go to the NASDAQ. What do we have? All right, so far on the daily chart, nothing. You got a cycle down, you tagged your 34, you got a reaction, and that's where we're sitting. Let's drop down to the 4-hour chart. What do we have? So far, nothing, right? You're coming off your 200. So the question is, right, there's a number of structures that could play out this week on the 4-hour chart. Basically, you're looking for a flat correction, right? So if you start building out something like this and price gives us a flat, that is basically now we're going to have a trade with a decision point. There's not much to do till you see some kind of structure, right? So I'm not real interested in taking this 4-hour 34B right here. I would like to see a larger structure like this, and then maybe if you saw a 4-hour engulfing candle, you could take that. And then this could also just keep going. So NASDAQ, I don't see much to do at the moment. All right. We go to the S&P 500, and it's the same thing, right? This is what we drew for the weekly Forex forecast. It looks like you're working your way back down, right? If you come down here in a messy B wave, you're going to get another move up. All right. If we have a complete flat correction, a complete 1, 2, 3, now we can go ahead and take a sell right here if we get one. All right. But you need to be aware that this wave could also keep going. So as we work our way down to these lows, this wouldn't be a bad buy. Same thing on NASDAQ, but you'd like to see a clear B wave down to the lows to buy for that C wave up. Nothing to do right now at the moment on NASDAQ and the S&P 500. Oil, we talked about this. When we look at oil on the daily chart, what did we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 swing sequence up. Here was our entry candle for the potential 5-wave correction, and you went down, you broke your lows, you're hitting your weekly pivot now. So, but after that candle, we were sitting right here, and you wanted to take 1-hour 34Bs. After you get that daily trigger, you want to go into sell mode only in the lower time frame. Trade in the direction of your daily bias, your most recent daily signal. And right here, you got a nice 34B. All right, you have a 1, a 2, a 3 in a 1-hour chart. Here's your impulsive move down, move up, move down, right? So you're tagging now, nothing to do in oil at the moment. I wouldn't be surprised if we start seeing some kind of sharp reaction down here. So basically, this is a good area to look for buy setups in the lower time frame that you don't have yet. All right. 15-minute chart. All right. As your 15-minute chart is as your 15-minute 8 is crossing back above your 34, you're going to have a buy setup in the 5-minute, and you could take that buy setup, and then that would be your trade. So nothing to do right now, though. You're tagging your weekly pivot, and you would have to wait for another correction or something else to set up. So Gold, we talked about this, right? We talked about this in the weekly Forex forecast of we had a couple options. This dropped through the floor, but if you saw it close back above the 4 hour 8, you wanted to shut the trade down. Here's your close above the 4 hour 8. And there's a good chance you're going to rally up to your 100, right? For an A, a B, a C. So, and when we step out here to the 8 hour chart, this is just a 1, a 2, a 3, 4, and you're about to have a 5. So now you'll have a 5 swing sequence, potential A, B, C, up to the 100. You're looking for 2400, and that could be the potential completion. We also talked about you could potentially be in a wave 3 because all of this could be a running flat right here, an A, a B, a C, and you're getting ready to come take out these highs. So you want to wait for a bearish engulfing close on the 4 hour chart or something at 2400 to take the trade, and you want any close above that candle, then you're going to shut the trade down, all right? And you're probably coming to retest these highs at that point. Silver, right? We don't have much. Not much going on at the moment. You tagged 100. We drew this 100 up, and oh, you didn't. Yeah, you tagged 100. You're getting a reaction now. 4 hour chart. All right, so if we start correcting down here, could drop to 200, right? You start making a correction against these highs, and all we start doing is playing around down here. You're going to have a sell setup that we don't have yet. All right, so it's what we got on silver. Nothing to really do at the moment. Daily chart. Yeah, nothing really to do at the moment, at the current moment. 4 hour. Yeah, you don't even have a close above the 8 yet to even take this potential buy, right? You could be super aggressive by the 100, but nothing to do on silver. Let's go to CAD. CAD, dollar CAD, right? Daily chart. So we do have CAD rate decision coming out, and I can tell you right now, if we're sitting around our weekly pivot come rate decision time, I will have orders down here trying to catch a spike. All right, because even if CAD does not cut their rate and they leave it at 5%, you're going to get a big candle down like this. But they will tee up a rate cut come July, right? And then the probabilities of a rate cut for July will basically be damn near 100%, 90, 95%. So if they don't cut the rate, you'll probably see an initial spike down that you want to buy. And you would be way past your ATR at this point, running into your weekly pivot, daily 200, and you also have your quarterly midpoint right down here. So if we're hanging around this pivot, you want to stick orders down here at your daily 200, trying to catch a spike. Because, like I said, the initial reaction should be down. And then when they come out with the press conference, they're going to talk about cutting in July. And this thing's going to go right back up. Now, you buy down here. If we hang around down here and we start closing down here, you just dump this trade. But we'll see how we set up come tomorrow. I'm hoping we stay up here near the pivot. I'm hoping CAD does not cut rates. I'm hoping we get this drop. And this is going to be a nice buy area to try and catch a news event wick, right? You're trying to catch that spike down. So that is that. That's how you want to play CAD. Dollar Swiss. Right, we got a 1, 2, 3 so far on dollar Swiss. You're coming down to your 200 now, and you have nothing to do at the moment. Nothing to do at the moment. 4 hour blown. Right, there's not much to do. You're waiting. If anything, you're waiting for a buy, right? A double bottom to buy or something along those lines. You could buy a 200B. We don't have a buy trigger yet. If you wanted to go in a smaller time frame and look for buy setups in the 1 hour or something, you could do that. As far as sell setups go, it's not really a sell setup. right? So not yet anyway. That's what we got on dollar Swiss. Aussie, we're still in the same place, right? We had this buy setup off the 34. We talked about you didn't want to see a close below this level. When we jump out to the higher time frame, you are coming up against your 3-day 200 and our weekly chart. You're up against your weekly 89. You're overbought. So, um, and like here's the two possibilities on Aussie, right? All of this is your three-wave expanded flat right here, and you're getting ready for an impulse down. To that, and then we get this here. Then we get that move up, right, to the 200. Um, or this is your three-wave correction, right? You have a 1, a 2, a 3. I'll clear this off. You have a 1, 2, 3. So is this potentially all your correction and you're breaking the high now? Again, it's less likely because of the way you came down in this wave. You came down in 3 structures. It's rare your C wave will come down in 3 structures. It does happen, but are we getting ready to come take out these highs now? When you drop down the daily chart, we had buy setups so you could take them. 8 hours bouncing off the 89, 4 hours bouncing off 200. So that is the question, right? We start taking out these double bottoms here, and we can go into sell mode on the lower time frame. So till then, not much to do. Your daily signal was on Friday, and that's pretty much that. If you get a down arrow up here, you can go ahead and shut the trade down, right? If you start to get a down arrow up here, now you're getting a three-wave structure back down here, right? So then you're going to have a three-wave structure here, right? So now we got track the reaction here. Are bulls going to do their job and take this up? Or is it going to correct down here and we're done, right? You lost your 4-hour 200, stuff like that. So not much to do right now on 4-hour chart. Not much to do. This was your last buy, this 4-hour double bottom, right? So, or the daily signal on Friday. New Zealand, same thing. You got you're probably going to get, you could get a strong reaction right here. Just a heads up. Your weekly R2 is also your quarterly R1, all right? So this could be a potential strong reaction point. Just keep that in mind. Might even want to set an alert up there. Just to remind you that this is your weekly R2 and it's your quarterly R1, and you'll typically get you're typically not going to blow through this level. Pound, nothing doing, right? We're still not doing anything. You got 1, you got 2, you got 3, you got 4. All right, so double bottom off the 200, and are you going to run up to your weekly pivot? That's pretty much the trade you're in. You got a 4-hour double bottom off the 200. 1 hour. Yeah, nothing doing. And still, when you're on the larger time frame, this is, you're getting a daily signal on your parabolic SAR, but it's not a signal I would take, right? There's no trend on your higher time frame, so you're well above your 8. So again, it is, I like pullbacks, right? If we hit this 34, then I would probably take a shot at the 34 big. I don't like buying another signal when we're already above the 8, so I would let it pull back. Dollar yen, nothing doing. We could be in now. We could be in for this running flat, right? So got this running flat right here. Potential. So kind of looking for a little more continuation on that. There's a better one on CAD yen, right? So if we go to CAD yen, I really like this setup. This thing can set up nice because we have this running flat as well on CAD yen. And what I'm hoping for is CAD does not cut their rate. And if they don't cut their rate, you're going to get an impulse up to probably finish out the week. And then that's going to complete this three-wave structure right here. All right. If we get a move like this up to our weekly pivot, that's going to complete this three-wave structure. You have an impulse down. All right. Keep in mind your quarterly. Let me put quarterly R2 on as well, because you're at your quarterly R2, and you typically don't run past these, right? Especially you're in a potential B wave. So you got your quarterly R2 right up here. You got your weekly pivot up here. And I think this is a great area to look for a sell. So the way I see this week playing out, I'm kind of hoping CAD does not cut their rate and we get an impulse up to finish out the week, Thursday and Friday. And then this becomes a great sell setup for next week. And next week we'd be looking for this C wave down. All right. And you have three waves up. You have an impulse down, and we have a 1, a 2, and a 3. All right. So this could be correction. And then this whole sequence becomes what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. You're just making a flat correction right here. Keep this in mind. Set an alert at 116, and that's going to be a great area for us to look for sells on CAD yen. All right. Swiss yen, nothing doing. We talked about this coming down for or Aussie Swiss, talked about that coming down for the running flat. CAD Swiss, we really like this sell this week, and when we dropped down to the 1 hour chart, never gave us that flat, right? I wanted to hit this weekly pivot in a flat correction in the 1 hour chart, and it just didn't give it to us. What it wound up doing was impulse down, 1, 2, 3. You have a running flat right here, and then you drop, right? And then here's your trigger candle for that running flat, for that 1, 2, 3 wave correction. Here's your trigger candle, and you go. So CAD Swiss was probably my number one sell, and I didn't get a trade on it, but we are still in Euro Swiss, right? We're still in Euro Swiss from this daily entry up here for the running flat down. So you're looking to hit your quarterly S2 down here this week and take profit on that trade if you took it. EuroCAD, nothing doing. Both of them have interest rate decisions this week. Stay out of this pair. Euro yen, same thing. You're coming up against your quarterly R2, so you got rate decision. Expect some volatility. Nothing to really do this week. Euros are, we went over this, right? You want buys, you could play this the same way as dollars are, but keep in mind you're going to have to withstand some wicks, and you would want to see a close below this level to shut the trade down. You would play it the same way as USDs are, but like I said, you got rate decision this week. You could just lay off euro this week if you want. Pound dollars, we are getting that 8 hour close above the 8. The problem is we lost our stack, right? So even though this could be an 8 hour 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? Correction could be going. Let's just wait for something to set up on the 4 hour. Because when we look at our 4 hour, we're completely sideways. And the reason we want this is because when we jump out to the weekly chart, you got a weekly close off the 89, and we're looking for a move to come take out these highs, just for a minimum of a flat correction right here. So, and you got a weekly close above the 8, and we're just looking for that right now. Now, when you drop down to the 4 hour, what do we have? We have 1, we have 2, we have 3. 3 waves down, and you're kind of making this correction right here. So let me hide all these indicators. What I showed you yesterday about WXY structures. Here's your A wave down, right? Your 3 waves down, so this becomes your W. And this right here can be your X wave. You got a potential X wave right here. Or this takes off, right? It's one of the two. You're either going to take off impulsively because you have a complete A, B, C, and we're bullish on the weekly, right? So correction's over and we're getting ready to go now. Or here's the other possibility. You're making a W and then you're coming down. This is your X wave and now you're coming down for another flat correction or a zigzag, right? So you have, and then this becomes your Y. So this is how you would track this thing. All right, so, and now you have a WXY structure, right? But now you got structure to pull at this point. You would have a high, and we would just buy a 4-hour 34B after the break of structure. If you wanted to take a shot down here after a WXY, is your Y wave going to be a flat correction, or is it going to be a zigzag correction? Or is the impulse going to take off now? If it takes off now, we'll just take a 4-hour 34B with stacked EMAs that we don't have right now. All right, so we'll just take a buy setup somewhere up here, right? So for continuation. All right, so not much to do right now in pound alls unless you wanted to be aggressive and strictly just play the pattern. If you wanted to just play the A, the B, the C down, take a shot on the fact that the correction's over and you're starting the impulse right now. That's what you would have to buy. All right, and pound chief coming down. I like this buy setup down here on pound chief. All right, you're completing this running flat. If we make it down to our 89 and stuff, we're gonna have a buy setup in this. All right, and then what bulls do with this buy setup will determine the next move, because when we jump out to the weekly chart, you're running into your weekly 200, right? So we're coming up to talking points, but it doesn't mean you can't trade it. So you can still trade it, because when you jump out to the monthly chart and stuff, you still got a monthly 89. You have higher time frame EMAs above you could run to. So our entry chart's bullish and our 3-day chart is stacked. So we want to take a shot down here at the 100 if we get there. So nothing to do at the moment on pound Swiss. Pound New Zealand, nothing doing, right? And that's pretty much it. So it's pretty much all I got. Not a whole lot going on. We got, like I said, the setups for CAD. I like them. We'll see how it plays out. I like CAD yen to the downside. That's one we're really looking at. And we're kind of just seeing how things play out with these rate decisions this week. So, that's all I got for right now. You got any questions or want me to cover anything, just leave me a message in the comments section and we'll go over it. See you.